Here's the Kracker Road side of the terminal. It's 300 feet across to the other property line, 100 yards. Plenty of room. We don't even have to use the front part where the pond crosses. We could put a big recruiting office up there or employee parking. It's about 3 acres. This is about 7 back here, so the front's probably 2.5 acres. This back here is 6.5. But the way it's set up, it's wide and long, so plenty of room. Over there by the oak trees be a perfect place for the portable office, 24 wide by 56 long, and we could have a 10-bay shop in there easy. A lot of room back here for dropping trailers. Demo these buildings because they're not good for anything. They're just little storage units for the people that lived here in their mobile homes / campers. They weren't true mobile homes. They were really camper style set up. Travel trailers and fifth wheels. This is the end of that property. And that one road that cuts through between the 10 acres and the mobile home park is right there. It's got a bridge down at the end. I don't know if you can see it. It's way down there. It's and the bridge is out, but we don't need to go out that way anyway. Then this starts the 10-acre property. It's got a big ditch that runs across the front of it, right through there. And it runs all the way back. Right down that road, right there, not the next lot, but the one after that is big operation set up for carnies, the fair people. Big yard where they keep all their trailers and all their Ferris wheels, all that stuff. I went in there and talked to them. Nice guys. Then there's 10 acres on the other side of them we haven't talked to. But these two spots right here would be prime. That's Kracker and 41, the mobile home place. And then you got the road, and then you got the other 10 acres that the guy wants. We told him all we could pay is $4 million, so he's checking with his kids. This, I think we can, they've got it listed for 3.5, so I think we can negotiate that, depending on who does all the cleanup. There's a ton of cleanup that needs to be done. There's septic tanks everywhere. You know, the little septic tanks. And there is, you know, electrical running under each one of their campsites, and And then there's a couple of big septic tanks. And then there's demolition of these two big buildings back here in the back. And there's 2 or 3 houses on it that need to be demoed. But the front 2 acres before the pond, it's already got gravel on it. It's ready to go. We can start dropping trailers on it immediately. Probably put 40 trailers up there. But anyway, that's the skinny. This is the road out, no red light. This is the Tampa property that they're going to develop. Big time property over there, 133 acres. So they're going to have to bring in water and sewer. But we could get by on a well and a septic to start out with over here on Kracker 41. So here's the drive-by. There's those big buildings that we need to demo. Big septic tank over there. Septic right here. And there's the 100 yards over to the other fence line. Not that one that's right here. I think you can see it now. Way across there. 100 yards, 300 feet. So we could circle in there and park trailers on both sides, all the way down. And this is one of the entrances. We'd need to make it wider. There's a good entrance in the back also. Everybody would probably come in the back anyway, or come in here and go out in the back, come in the back, go out here. I think it would be interchangeable. But if you see those mangroves right there, that's where that creek runs across the property at an angle. So you got mangroves, you got a creek and a pond that angle, but it's fenced off. I don't think it would be an issue because that back half is plenty big for what we want to do. But you see those big oak trees over there, priceless oak trees. We could nestle that 24 by 56 office right back in there. Looks like it's already got good power and everything running in there behind those oak trees. And then the shop could go right there where that, I don't know if you can see it, but that fenced in parking area over there. Perfect for a 220-foot shop, 10 bays, 80 feet deep, 16-foot doors. There, see that brown sitting out? That's coming out off the property line about 60 feet. It's in a big squared in, fenced in area where their secured parking was for their cars. Take that whole area, Make the shop right next to the office. Go out about 220 feet to the right. And then about 80 feet off the property line. It wouldn't be a drive-through, but you could still get 20 trucks in there at one time, or 10 trucks and trailers. Still give you a 20-foot wide parts area. I think we should just leave the parts area wide open. Don't have it inside of a room, and just put shelves, just like in an open bay, put shelves there. Have all your parts. This is a tear down trailer here. The house there's a tear down. This is the front 2 acres, on the other side of the creek. See, it's already got some asphalt, and the whole yard's got rock. And it's got its own entrance. And Peter D went in here earlier. So that would be a tear down. This trailer here would be a tear down. Then they've got all these RVs parked in here. They would have to get out. But this front part goes all the way over to that wooden fence. There's the wooden fence on 41. They had 2 feet of water in here during the hurricane. I mean, because Tampa Bay is right there. I mean, it's just on the other side of 41. But by 2 a.m., all the water had drained out. They got really good drainage on that road, and on Kracker Road, and on the property. So this is the backside of the pond area. See that fence? It borders the pond all the way around. So these are just two old beat up trailers that are sitting in here. But this is all crush rock, all ready to go. Just have to get the excavator, the bulldozer, skiddy, maybe the rubber tire, get Billy Boy down here and go to town. There's the border of the pond again. This is a little finger of the pond that comes out here. So there's a lot of usable land on this front part. That house right there would be a tear down. Probably leave these big priceless oak trees. But on the back part of the property, there's 13 smaller live oaks that we could probably get rid of without anybody even knowing. You get in here with that excavator. But you drive through here, I mean, this is all hard ground up here. It's a little dang, I just drove off in a hole. Son. But anyway, this part of the little finger that comes off is pretty much dried up. So I don't know if we could fill that in or not, but we really wouldn't need it. plenty of high and dry over here once we get rid of the house to utilize this 2 acres. See all that out there is high and dry. See that chain link fence? I don't know if you can see it, but it runs right along that palm tree. And it just cuts right through the center of the property and goes right over to the road. So it takes out about a full acre probably of usable land. That's the property line over there. That brown fence. I don't know what we could do with this 2.5 acres that's fronting 41. We can sell it to somebody or use it for driver parking. But when you get all this stuff cleared out of here, it's going to be a pretty 2 acres. See, it goes all the way to the wooden fence right there. There's 41. See the traffic going by. See if I can get turned around. There's 100 palm trees on this property, but you know, it's free game on palm trees. You can take them down all you want. I don't know why that is. I guess there's so many of them. It's not a protected tree. But anyway, we could probably put 30-40 trailers right here on this lot once you got the houses and all the crap out of the way. Look at them, look at those palms right there. Beautiful Florida palms. Beautiful. Look at this. Joiner's new office. 41. Traffic 24/7. Little mailbox right there. Stop sign. Now we're going back down towards the backside. Going into the property. There's a pond crosses over. So the fence there. The creek just follows that all the way. And then it really just dead ends right here. There's a big swell over here on this side. And a big swell going down too. So it's, you know, got a drop off on the road. That's where the office will be again. Nestled under those big oak trees in the back. Big oak trees. And then our shop will be right there. 220 feet. 80 feet wide. And then you have the rest of all this parked trucks. Employee parking will be up on the front 2.5 acres. A lot of cleanup, a lot of cleanup, a lot of palm trees. There's a couple of those small oaks that we could build with those. So then we come into the buildings that we're going to demo. I mean, the buildings are solid, but they take up so much prime real estate that we need. There's the big drain field. And here's the other entrance. How we would come down here. That's the port property, 133 acres. That's the other 10 acres that the guy wants $6 million for. It's got 3 or 4 houses and a big barn on it. But here's the other entrance on the backside. We could widen this a little bit too. But I mean, there's gobs of room back here. I mean, it goes all the way to past those last pine trees right there. There's no fence right there. The fence starts up there where you see the wooden fence. But the property line runs all the way to that big pine tree. But you got this whole backside area. Once you get rid of those buildings, you can park trailers, trucks, put a chain link fence all the way around the property. Right now they've got that wooden brown fence. I mean, it's a solid fence. Shame to tear it down. But I can't get in that gate right there. They got that gate locked. Or I could ride through the whole property. But this just puts you into where these little outbuildings are. They were just little mini storage buildings for the tenants. Keep their personal stuff. But that's what we're going to find probably at each campsite. One of these big septic tanks. Of course, Ed's going to try to get them to do all the cleanup. That'll be all in the negotiations. But I really feel good about this property. I really think it'll work for what we need. See, the fence ends right here. But the property goes all the way to that corner right there. I think this big fenced in area is another septic tank or another drain field. They got more drain fields on here than you shake your stick at. this was open. Drive right through here. So this is a few oak trees back here. We would need to deal with. But mostly everything is palm trees. Got a good road system. Good hard road going through it that we could tie into with our gravel. So there's the fence property line on that side. And the neighbors, they've got ponds on their property too. So that's looks like wetlands right there that this backs up to. But that's one side of the property. It goes all the way to right there, which is 300 feet. And there's that squared in area they have for their car parking. We'd take that fence completely down, and that's kind of where the shop would go, straight across there, and then a little, about another 75 feet that way. Office trailer, depending on which one we get, 14 by 70 or 24 by 56. Plenty of room back here. We may maybe even be able to leave that nice oak tree. Push that little scrub oak over, and that's a water oak right there, so we take that one out. And then that's one of the power outlets right there. We'd have to have 240 though to run the ACs. So this would be a perfect little spot to get all these palms out of here and grade it, get all the electrical and septic out of here, and we could drop we could even leave one of the septics and tie into the trailer if we wanted to. But here's the little pond. This is the only spot where you can see it because the mangroves grown up so much all the way around it. Joiner could have a little waterfront view right here. Joiner and Amanda. Boom. Waterfront office. Well, that's about it for the tour. I'm going to upload this to YouTube where you can fast forward through all the boring stuff. Probably need to go ahead and get that bulldozer headed this way. We got some work to do.